Good Friday morning. We are here with this edition of the Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Craig Moeller. We have Marta Berglund and Eugene Daniel. Guys, we're closer to the big event, a winter storm bearing down on Hampton roads.
Yeah, and we're all going to be here tomorrow for 13 News Now Daybreak. So I'm excited because I'm usually here by myself, but you guys are going to be joining me.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be team coverage because, Eugene, as we've been talking, this is going to be a really significant snow event. We want folks to be prepared. You already got some proof of this from the home down in Atlanta.
I do. My mom just texted me some photos from my childhood home in Cobb County. Can't wait to share that. So yes, we have proof that this snow is coming in, Craig.
All right, we're going to show you all of this. I want to start off by taking a look at the weather headlines and what we have coming up from the weather desk for you today. First of all, a weather alert day. A winter storm is coming. I'm not using the terms might come or could possibly develop and come. I'm telling you, a winter storm is coming to our region. We'll break that down. The next topic will be the impacts and the scope of this thing. This is not just a Hampton Roads deal. This has had impacts all the way through the central and southern U.S. as Eugene just mentioned his childhood home down in the Atlanta area getting hit with a lot of snow right now. We'll show you a picture of that. Talk about some of the big impacts across Arkansas, Texas. There's different areas that have been hit with this, and it's coming our way. I also have a California wildfires update and some more about some of the impacts, things affected by those wildfires. The images have been amazing. But there's some good news. If you have friends or family in Southern California and you're concerned, I will have an update, and we'll hear some more from Eugene on some of the news stories breaking out of that part of the country. But let's start with our weather alert day and what's going on. We declared this weather alert day. I did it yesterday morning saying, you know what? I'm confident enough that we're going to have a winter storm coming through Friday night into Saturday that we want to get folks prepared for it. And said technically the impacts are this evening and Saturday. Right now, clouds are rolling in. It isn't going to be one of those impacts during the day today. Today's fine, and we're going to talk about what you should do today in advance of the snow coming. But accumulating snow is going to develop later tonight and into early tomorrow. Some areas, significant amounts of snow. We could see 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches in a few spots. And there'll be a mixed terrain farther to the south, so not as much down that way. We're also concerned with some mixed precipitation. It starts developing this evening. Initially, it'll be late afternoon, western parts of Virginia into the Piedmont. Then as we get into the evening hours, after sunset, we get into the early evening out towards I-95 by late evening. And as we head towards midnight, it'll be filling in and then continuing after midnight across most of the area. Wintry mix and rain also expected to come into play, as I mentioned, Virginia Beach down along the Outer Banks. We'll see some of that down around the Albemarle Sound. I still think parts of Virginia Beach are going to get a good coating of snow, but this mix is going to knock down the totals for some. And there may be a few of you, especially southern parts of Virginia Beach around Back Bay and into northeast North Carolina. They're maybe a little disappointed if you were really hoping for a lot of snow. Other areas will have more than adequate amounts. I'd imagine some of the kids will get sleds out. There'll be snowmen. There'll be snow women, snow creatures, all kinds of fun in the snow tomorrow morning with the heavier snow coming down. What's not going to be nice is that we're going to see a lot of this kind of turning a little slushy later in the day as temperatures are expected to climb back above freezing Saturday. We're going to see gradual clearing late Saturday, and with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s, we're going to see some slushy areas with black ice possible Saturday night into early Sunday as the roads refreeze. So that's going to be something we're watching. All right, here's kind of the picture with the region. Winter storm warnings. We had watches out. If you were watching yesterday, we mentioned a winter storm watch was out. Well, now that we're within that 24-hour window preceding the arrival of the snow, the Weather Service has said, okay, it's now a warning. And we knew this was going to happen. We've got a warning for the Middle Peninsula. The peninsula, Southside Hampton roads, including Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Suffolk. You take a look, Isle of Wight, Franklin, Southampton, all these areas out through I-95. In North Carolina, it's Gates, Hertford, Northampton counties. These areas on westward, all under winter storm warning, and the eastern shore as well. The areas you see on the screen shaded in purple are under winter weather advisory. This includes Virginia Beach, where I expect some more mixing to knock down the snow totals. It is interesting. All of Virginia Beach technically in a winter weather advisory. As I show you the snow forecast, if you live 264 and areas north, there's a chance you could get a little more of the heavier snow. I think that area where the mix kind of pushes in and knocks down the totals is going to be somewhere in this region. So north of that, a little more snow, south of that, a little bit less. And then again, with the rain kind of mixing in, or snow and mixed precipitation, totals will be lower down around the Albemarle Sound. But you may have some issues there just with the frozen precipitation. So again, timing this evening. Light snow starts, especially out to the west and southwest. It'll come in as the evening progresses. By late evening and overnight, snow for most of the area. Snow and some mix down into North Carolina. For Saturday morning, we're looking at snow still lingering, some areas with a wintry mix. That'll taper off later Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon, we should see gradual clearing, especially by late afternoon and into the evening, but that sets up really cold conditions. You can take a look right now across the country. This system is moving along. I think we've got a live shot from the Atlanta metro area. We can show you the snow kind of coming down, and again, the snow covering the ground in places where they don't see a lot of snow. Now, my producer Kyle is talking to me. Kyle Johnson's helped put some of these elements together. Do we have any other live cameras you'd like me? Arkansas, Little Rock. Thank you, Kyle. We'll go live out there and show you the snow. Oh, no, now you go. You take a look at this, the snow coming down there, again, covering the ground. We've got some aerials we can also show you. And again, the snow over Arkansas. So a lot of that going on. Back across Oklahoma, the snow came down there as well. You can see that snow creating pretty messy conditions on those roads. That's going to be the concern here tomorrow. I believe that was from Carbon County in Oklahoma. So the snow coming down. Let's come back to the maps, and I want to talk to you about what's happening here. Notice how well this model is initializing. And what I mean by that, we take a look. I'm going to go back. Watch this very quickly. I'm going to go back to the satellite and the radar images, and you can see where the snow is here, extending all the way up to Chicago. If you watched yesterday, we talked about this and said, you know, this morning we'd see snow through St. Louis all the way up to Chicago. The models have been so good. This is not me patting my back. I'm telling you, the forecast guidance that we rely on to tell you what's coming, it's been spot on. You see the snow across northern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. A little bit more extending out across South Carolina. As we pick up the futurecast, all of this is well covered. You notice that snow extending out with the satellite images. We'll go back to that. There that is. When I switch to the model, doesn't really pick up on that, so maybe a little bit more, a little farther east. But here's what the model does. You get the gist. It's going to bring that snow, and you see how it fills it out there pretty quickly. So it's close, maybe a little bit behind down to the south. The snow does come in, though, as we get into the evening. This is the wider view. Around 9 o'clock, you can see how it's pushing into the western parts of the area. Widespread across the Piedmont, northern North Carolina, eastern parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, up into Ohio. I want to get real close with our model and zoom into Hampton Roads. Let's take a look. The clouds have been increasing already this morning. I just looked outside. Cloudy skies right now. Temperatures chilly, not as windy as yesterday. That's a bit of encouragement. Through the afternoon, upper 30s to near 40. Here we go into the evening. 6:30. Coming home from work. If somebody's commuting today, no problems for the evening commute. Got dinner plans tonight? Going out this evening? Not too bad early on, but watch what happens as we go later in the night. If you've got plans that are going to carry you out through 8, 9 o'clock, we're still looking pretty good here. I cannot stress enough, continue to check back with 13 News Now for our live updates and additional coverages right here on our mobile apps, our digital apps, the 13 News Now Plus app. We may adjust a little bit, but the models have been very consistent with bringing this in later in the evening. 9:30, 10 o'clock, we start to see some flurries, maybe some light snow showers. But know when you start to see it, we are just getting started. Here comes the snow. You can see it filling in as we go to 11. Now the snow's more widespread. After midnight, snow machine cranking up across the northern half of the viewing area. A little bit of mixing and maybe a little bit of freezing rain or sleet in the mix right along this transition area. At the Outer Banks, a little bit warmer. Kill Hill still at 34 degrees. That's at 12:30. Everybody else pretty much below freezing. Edenton also around 33. That's at 12:30. As we go through the morning, 1:30. Still low to mid 30s here. A very cold rain with some sleet and mix around the Outer Banks. Mix across northeast North Carolina. Meanwhile, the snow starts to really add up for these areas. This is what we're talking about when we get to those snow totals here in a minute. You look at 3 a.m. Now we're getting a little more warm push of air. This is the graph model. Earlier in the week, I was spending a lot of time with the GFS and the European model. Those are great global models. They've been showing us this. They've been advertising the GFS, that American model I talk about so much. It's nailed this thing for like 10 days. It's been hinting at the same experience. Friday night to Saturday, another round. Friday night to Saturday really hasn't changed. So hats off to our folks that put together that and developed that GFS model and all the improvements they've made. It has been awesome. But now that we're getting into this real close window, we're coming up on this storm. Now we turn our attention to the high res models, like this is the graph model here. You'll notice how it brings in more rain. Now this is the question, okay? Saturday, 4:45, snow, eastern shore, middle peninsula, even up to the northern neck to some reach. But the peninsula, these areas inland, the snow continues to come down. Now we go, okay, Virginia Beach, we're starting to get a little bit of that rain mixing in or some sleet, maybe a little bit of wintry mix here. That may knock down the totals. It may also take a little toll on the totals in southern Chesapeake into North Carolina. That's why we're only looking for, say, an inch or so down there, and a lot of it will be washed away. Won't be as pretty, won't be as dramatic down that way. As we look ahead to sunrise, this is a little shift from previously. It is nudging a little more warmth northward. Notice the air temperature in Chesapeake, that's at the regional airport, 26-31 at Oceana. So I think still cold enough to support snow or mix. There will have been decent amounts of snow overnight. How much of that gets kind of damped down by a changeover to rain, that will remain to be seen. Notice the snow continuing farther to the north. So this area to the north never really sees the transition. That transition southern Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. The snow moves out as we get into the late morning and early afternoon. We'll look for clearing overnight Saturday, and that sets up a very cold Sunday morning. Now Sunday, as we wake up, we're seeing temperatures in the low 20s inland and then upper 20s to near 30 at the coast. This is why we're concerned with black ice and refreezing coming up on Sunday morning. Couple other quick looks. Here's the American model again, the GFS. This is 8 o'clock, brings in that snow, keeps the mix down to the south. Now the GFS trending a little warmer from previously at 6 a.m. and then kind of moving out. Areas to the north and west never really get warm. That's the GFS model. We'll take a look at the Euro. The Euro brings in the snow. It's keeping us pretty snowy, a little bit of mix pushing up Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. Then by 6 a.m., here comes some more rain. So again, I want folks to know, if you're watching north and west, the snow is coming. It's going to come for a while across the south side and into North Carolina. But as we wake up tomorrow, if we get more of that rain mixing in again, some of those snow totals kind of weighted down a little bit, washed away some of it, and it won't be as pretty down to the south as you wake up with kind of slush, or maybe some places it won't show up as very much snow at all because the rain kind of washed it away. But the snow is coming overnight. It's just a matter of how far north or south it pushes. All right, this is a look at the GFS snow predictions. You can just see some numbers assigned to some various areas. 3 to 5 inches for these areas off to the north, 4 potentially around Cape Charles, parts of the eastern shore. Norfolk, a couple inches, 2.5 inches at Suffolk. Much lower amounts down to the south because that rain, again, mixing in and washing away. We take a look at the Euro, and it looks like the Euro is going to produce anywhere from 1 to 3 inches across these areas, south side into North Carolina. Elizabeth City, Kill Hills, much lower because of the rain. Smithfield, 3.7, about 3 in Williamsburg, 4 over to Cape Charles. It's just another look. Now, as we get into The graph model, this again is through 10 a.m. tomorrow. You could see an inch to, or maybe an inch and a half or so across southern parts of Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. Lighter amounts down to the south with the rain, but the north end of Virginia Beach over to Norfolk, more like 2 to 2.5 inches. You head out to Newport News, you're getting close to 4 to 5 up around West Point, more than 4 at Wakefield, Richmond, about the same, Melfa at 4. So again, all of the models point to this heavier snowfall here with lighter amounts down to the south. This is how things have been playing out. Here's our snowfall forecast. We may bump it up or down. Right now, what I think is a trace changing over to mixed. It's going to be pretty light around the Albemarle Sound. You come into the northern tier of North Carolina, southern parts of Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, more like an inch to maybe an inch and a half. We'll say up to 2 inches. Northern Virginia Beach, 2 inches, maybe 2 to 3 through Norfolk, 3 to 5 in that broader range. I just showed you all the different models. You got a feel for what those numbers are looking like. Obviously, if we get more snow, that's going to knock those totals down. I want to talk to you about our confidence. This is full transparency. What do we feel good about? What are we going, well, let's see. All right. Precip type. I'm going to say moderate to high. I feel very confident northern and western areas are going to get the snow. It's going to happen. All right. Where it gets a little dicey, central and southern Virginia Beach over into Chesapeake. Maybe a little more mix, maybe a little more snow, confidence, moderate to high. Something's coming. Exactly what we're going to have to take a look. Snow totals, again, pretty confident. Those numbers I just showed you, you saw how the models are all lining up. So I'm pretty confident in that. We'll say high, but there's still a little bit of wiggle room, so continue to check back with 13 News Now. Storm timing, this has been consistent for, as I mentioned, the last 10 days. So very, very confident in that. All right, we've talked about how broad this storm is. Right now we're looking at snow from South Carolina and North Carolina all the way back through Arkansas, and there are things that folks need to do to prepare. I've put together this viewer action plan, and we can take this full because I want you to see what you can do here, okay? Basically, today is a day to prepare. The snow, as I showed you, isn't coming until this evening. So if you need to do something, now is the time to do it, okay? Take time. Get those items you need at the grocery store. Make yourself well-stocked so you can just sit in tomorrow morning without a care in the world. Okay, today, if you've got action you need to take, pick up medications, whatever, do it. You're not going to be snowed in for a long time. This is going to melt off. But just prepare yourself so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Tonight, monitor the developments. We're going to have our entire team in on 13 News Now. Daybreak is going to be in for special coverage tomorrow. Eugene, Ashley, Marta, we're all here, so monitor the developments tonight, early tomorrow. And then tomorrow, with everything in place, you can kick back, tune into 13 News Now, and enjoy it. Look out the window, see the pretty snow covering many parts of the area, and not stress. The main thing is you don't want to leave yourself to where you have to get out or something tomorrow morning. Sit back, let us take a look at what's going on. We'll let you know, and we'll keep you updated on those developments. All right, Marta Berglund has been standing by. You were monitoring earlier the impacts potentially across the region tomorrow with the traffic. Talk to us about those roads.
All right, thanks, Craig. Yeah, we don't expect to see much. All right, 1 moment.
That's all right. Marta, you got it now. Okay, she's back.
All right, perfect. So yes, we don't expect to see many significant travel delays, which you would see on a rush hour type day, but we could expect to see travel delays because of weather. So we have this map here. You can see the color key up there shows the severity of the delays because of weather. So let's play this out into tomorrow morning. Obviously, we have Hampton Roads down here. All of Hampton Roads either in the moderate or major travel delay section. It gets worse as you head kind of up north into this part of the peninsula. You can see those major travel delays are expected. So again, as Craig said, you really shouldn't need to head out the door on a Saturday, so stock up today and then enjoy your coffee with us tomorrow on 13 News Now Daybreak. As he said, all of us will be here. I'll be here monitoring any traffic problems we may have. All right. Of course, everyone needs to take precaution, prepping for your car for a winter storm. If you haven't done that yet, now is the time to do so. Destiny Richards from our sister station has an easy demonstration to make sure your tires are ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you.
The winter storm this week is expected to create very hazardous driving conditions on the roads, making it crucial to have tires that are in good shape with the right amount of tread depth. We spoke with the team at CMD Automotive about the importance of checking your tires before venturing out into winter weather. Service manager Kevin Davis says it's essential to check both the tread wear and the Department of Transportation or DOT date on your tires to know when they were made and how old they are.
So a lot of people think about tires just in terms of tread depth, but you also need to think about age, because the older the tire, the less effective it's going to be.
Tires with worn grooves won't provide enough friction to handle ice and snow, making driving risky. Davis demonstrated a simple way to check your tread wear using nothing more than a penny.
If you're looking at the penny, here's Lincoln's head. What you don't want to see is any of this. Lincoln's head should be covered. So if I'm sticking this into the tread of the new tire, Lincoln's head is completely covered, right? So as that tire ages and the tread gets lower, you're going to see that become higher. So like on this tire, if I put it right here, obviously that tire needs to be replaced. So as long as Lincoln's head is covered and you can't see it, the top of the head, you've got a good tire. If you can see it, it's time to replace it.
You can also use a tire tread depth gauge, which costs only a few dollars.
So the minimum requirement for like an inspection for a tire is going to be 2 seconds of tread. With ice and snowy conditions, that's just not enough. So you're really going to want 5 seconds of tread and above for those icy and snowy conditions.
Davis says tires last about 3 to 5 years. So as long as you keep up with the tread depth, air pressure, tire rotation, and overall condition of your tires, you should be ready for winter driving. For WCNC Charlotte, I'm Destiny Richards.
Thank you, Destiny, and I appreciate Marta lending her expertise on the roads as well. Want to talk to you. You know, we talk about these preparations. Of course, you know, okay, everyone needs to take precautions during a winter storm. But you think about it, the cold that we had, the winds that were blowing, the snow and frigid temperatures, it can be most dangerous for those experiencing homelessness. Tradesha Woodward from our sister station in Charlotte explains.
In a winter storm,
it's terrifying, actually.
There's no worse place than being out on the streets.
Even scarier than when we were going to have a hurricane.
As many fight for the luxury of warmth, the cold air hugging them tight.
It was burning my skin so bad.
And cutting them deep.
Oh.
With no walls for protection.
Cold air burns your skin, almost like having hot water thrown on you. You just literally put it in there like that.
It's a battle Tasha Haney and her partner are preparing to fight on their own.
It's a fire, but it's not the type of fire that you think about.
Finding creative ways to spark their own flame.
We burn hand sanitizer.
And fight the chills of the night.
And because of the metal container, you know, it's a good heat conductor.
She says facing the cold wind and feeling the cold shoulder from society weighs a ton as the absence of care continues to linger.
I don't see the problem going anywhere. It's definitely not going down. It's growing exponentially.
Haney says the ice may freeze the ground, but it'll never freeze the spirits of those determined to survive.
Tradesha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, Tradesha, it's so tough for, again, the homeless and those that need a place. They need to find shelter tonight with the snow and the wintry mix coming in. You do not want to be exposed to that. We're going to shift gears and turn our attention to Southern California, and I got to give you an update on this. There is some encouraging news. Let's start with a live look over the Palisades. This is from a helicopter up, just giving you a visual. California continues to burn. These wildfires have been tremendous. In the canyons, the winds starting to show signs that they will be easing, and that is certainly great news. Let's show you the view from outer space. We had these from NASA indicating some of the satellite imagery over the wildfires in California. You see the lights from the city, but also those bright areas really pinpointing those wildfires. As we take a look at the winds across the area where before we had steady, strong winds, it's becoming more variable. There are still advisories in place. There's a high wind warning for this area shaded in purple through 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So this is for their local time through the afternoons. They could still see some winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour. But remember, a couple days ago, we were looking at 100-mile-per-hour winds. So the winds are certainly easing. Wind advisory for northern Los Angeles, and you get up farther to the north, and you still have those wind warnings. But again, things will be improving later today, and that is an incredible blessing. Now, Eugene Daniel joins us. There have been some big impacts. Obviously, the loss of homes and just the devastation has been heart-wrenching. It's also impacting some other things, and you've got more on that.
Yeah, Craig, you mentioned it. I mean, devastating impact on many structures that have been lost, but also we're talking about a loss of life as well. At least 10 deaths are now blamed on the fire disaster in Los Angeles. Nearly 400,000 people are still under evacuation orders or warnings. 10,000 homes at least and buildings have burned to the ground. This is also impacting entertainment and the sports industries. Already, Oscars nominations and the Critics' Choice Awards have been pushed back, and then shows that people love to watch, like Grey's Anatomy, Abbott Elementary, George and Mandy's First Marriage, and more shows have been halted in their production right now because of these fires. When it comes to sports, the Lakers and Hornets game has been postponed from Los Angeles. That took place last night, that postponement. Lakers coach J.J. Redick, you see him there. His rental home was one of the structures burned down in the Palisades fire. And then Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr, well, he lost his childhood home in the Palisades. He says his 90-year-old mother evacuated and is safe, which is good news. In the NFL, the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings wild card playoff game has been moved to Arizona because of the fires. It was supposed to take place at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It will now be played at the home of the Arizona Cardinals. And if you're following the NFL, the LA Chargers, well, they play on the road in Houston against the Texans, so they were not impacted. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with more on the devastation out west.
Firefighters raced to contain wildfires around Los Angeles for a third night. The Kenneth Fire erupting in the San Fernando Valley, forcing evacuations in the West Hills neighborhood.
We are expecting this fire to rapidly spread due to high winds.
Flames spread to nearly 1,000 acres in a matter of hours. Another fire popping up in the San Fernando Valley overnight. All of the major wildfires are in a roughly 25-mile band north of downtown Los Angeles. The Palisades and Eaton fires, the largest, more than 9,000 homes, businesses, and other buildings damaged or destroyed, making them the first and second most destructive fires in Southern California history. The Palisades fire still raging overnight after scorching nearly 20,000 acres, an area the size of Manhattan.
Mars would be more habitable than this place right now, so it's crazy. There's absolutely nothing.
Video from above shows utter devastation. Dozens of blocks flattened to smoldering rubble. Only the outlines of the homes and their chimneys remain. Blackened palm strands are the only thing left along this stretch in Malibu where oceanfront mansions once stood.
It's apocalyptic. It's like someone's dropped a bomb. There's cars burnt out. There's ash everywhere. We were thinking it was going to be bad, but I think we both had no idea how bad it was.
About 180,000 people have been ordered to evacuate across Southern California. Another 200,000 face evacuation warnings. The flames fueled by dry conditions and a rare wind event with gusts nearing 100 miles per hour at times. The wind warnings are expected to remain in place for Los Angeles County and much of Ventura County through today.
We're watching that high-pressure system sink in, a new one. That Four Corners high going to send offshore Santa Ana winds. The gusts in some of the mountaintops could even go to 70.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Again, the wind warnings, though, set to expire around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So as that high pressure eventually moves out, we're going to see the improvements coming later. So they just need to hang in. Eugene, something else we've been concerned with, and we were just talking about it there. There may be a story down the road where people are dealing with health impacts from the poor air quality. And this is different, okay? I think about some of the big tragedies we've covered in our lifetime. We've had, I remember 9/11 and all the folks rushing to help, the first responders that years later developed, respiratory illnesses and different things like that. These folks that have been forced to breathe the air and those first responders who have been saving lives and doing amazing things, I am hopeful that they are able to get away from it enough. But I can tell you the air quality terrible there. And there are going to be a lot of people that don't have the means to get out of there that are forced to breathe it on some level.
And that's a huge issue, Craig. I'm glad that you brought that up. I know I've been texting with people that I know, including God family members who are in that area. And those who haven't had to evacuate yet say they are staying indoors because the air quality is so bad and they don't want to deal with those issues, those respiratory issues as well. But I mean, your heart just goes out to everyone impacted, because no matter what, everyone I talk to, there's some kind of connection, having personal people there who have lost their homes. It is a terrible situation.
You said there's one family that you're familiar with. Tell us about that, like an entire family lost.
Yeah. A church family became really great friends of mine when I was in Illinois. And right now what they're dealing with is their family is from the Altadena area, and they had their brother, mother, father, childhood home, all of those in the same area, and they've lost all three of those homes. And so, I mean, these are really impacting people at a huge level.
Yeah, and the before and after pictures, when you see them, and you'll be seeing a lot of them over the coming weeks and months, I'm sure, it is just jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. All right, our hearts go out to that. You know, we've been taking a look at the wintry weather. And Eugene, I'm going to have you stick around here as we switch gears back to our impending winter weather. We'll take a look at this image right here. What is this? This is a doorbell image from Eugene's home down in Georgia.
Yeah, my mom sent this to me today, and she said this started around 7 a.m., and you know, we're not used to seeing this. I mean, I don't remember really as a child walking outside and seeing a winter wonderland like this. So she's really excited this morning, but I'm sure there's a lot of people in Georgia who are just really excited to see that. I mean, because we really just are not used to seeing that all the time.
It's one thing to see a few flurries. It's another thing to see cars covered, the rooftops covered.
It's outside of our front door.
That is something else, Eugene. Thank you for sharing that. I thought that was really interesting. So when we say snow's coming, we want folks to know it's coming. Eugene, thanks so much. We're going to take a look at the forecast here, and then we'll finish up the show. Again, today's temperatures are going to top out upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Get your stuff taken care of today. If you need to go out and take care of any last-minute preps, that way you can just hunker down tonight and enjoy the beautiful snowflakes falling tomorrow. It's not a normal morning commute. It's not like it's a weekday commute where people have to get out on the roads or have to get to work, and there's going to be tons of people out. Tomorrow's a day that should be pretty chill, with most people able to stay home, sit back, watch the coverage, enjoy. The snow is coming overnight. We're going to see snow with some mixing likely to the south. There will be some areas that wake up tomorrow disappointed, mainly down into North Carolina and maybe southern parts of Virginia Beach. You're going to get snow for a while, but I do think we'll eventually see some mixing. And again, the morning snow and mix will move out. Then as we get into the afternoon, look at the temperatures. We should be back in the upper 30s to low 40s across the region. Maybe a little cooler off to the north and west, where there's so much snow that keeps the temperatures down a little bit. But we'll look for the mix to move out, gradual clearing, and then with the temperatures thawing overnight, we will see the potential for the refreeze. And I just want to let you know, again, as forecasters, our confidence, that confidence meter goes all the way to high on this storm. In general, again, 1 to 5 inches, lesser amounts, North Carolina Outer Banks, more off to the north and west. But I think in general, 1 to 5 will be our range, and most of the metro area, probably 1.5 inches to say 3.5 inches, 4 inches or so up on parts of the peninsula and out to the west with locally higher amounts. All right, mixed terrain in North Carolina may mix over Virginia Beach as well, parts of Hampton Road. So we'll see refreezing that issue for Sunday morning. Here's the 7-day forecast. Our temperatures are actually going to warm up. So like I said, this isn't something where we're going to be buried for a really, really long time. No, I think we're going to thaw out. I think Sunday's going to be really pretty once that morning black ice kind of thaws out. Sunshine, low 40s there, mid 40s to upper 40s on Monday. Another push of cooler air Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday, and another warm up the following week will be up into the 50s for highs. Want to remind you, you can find me on social media, Craig Moeller. Moeller. That's on Facebook. Instagram, Craig Moeller TV. We do a lot of updates and post videos there, giving you insights as to what's happening. On X, I'll post there occasionally as well. 13 Craig Moeller is where you can find me. Want to remind you the best way to stay in touch is by downloading our mobile app. If you haven't already done it, the 13 News Now mobile app is a great way to stay connected. You can scan that QR code right now. You see it on the screen. If you're watching us right now on the 13 News Now Plus app, you got it. It's a great way to stay in touch. But again, we want folks to know that you can take it on the go anywhere with our mobile app. And when we have alerts and special coverages, it pushes out to the apps. All right, we're also going to have special coverage as we go tomorrow. Our entire Daybreak team will be in with us for a special edition of Daybreak tomorrow. It starts at 6 a.m. and we're going to be with you. We'll stay on air. Certainly, if we're still dealing with snow and mixed precipitation or whatever's lingering, we'll stay on if we need to a little bit longer, maybe into GMA. We're also going to be streaming live, and we've got a special 12:30 show set up to be right back here to stream for you, even though we'll be in our regular programming. I think we got some sports going on tomorrow as well during the afternoon. But if you want more on the weather and you want to see how things are melting and if it's good to get back out there and start going about normal activities, we'll have a special edition coverage for you tomorrow at 12:30 streaming. Eugene, any final thoughts on all this? You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make sure that we got everybody prepared and to let you see and feel everything that's happening tomorrow. We're going to make sure we got you covered.
It's a lot of excitement for a lot of folks that have been waiting and waiting and wondering, is it ever going to happen? We will see snow across the region tomorrow. Be sure and join us. Thank you guys so much for catching this edition of the Weather Desk. Remember, we do this weekdays as close to 9 as we can get everything fired up and online and going. So be sure and check back Monday through Friday around 9 a.m. for more of these extended, deeper dives into today's top weather headlines.